Hello everybody, this is Jerry Mateo with In the DAW. Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be pretty cool. We are going to be doing a review on a piece of gear from Phenyx Pro. And that is going to be the Phenyx Pro PTU 52-2B. This is their entry-level unit that has two wireless lavalier kits. This will come with two body packs, two headsets, and two lavaliers. It is a pretty simple unit. On the back, you'll see that it just has two antennas, has a balance A and balance B for XLR line output, and then a mix output for a mono sum of both channels into one output. The wireless units themselves are all plastic. They are pretty light, and when you have the battery inside, that's when they gain a little bit of weight. And it's pretty simple. This is obviously their entry-level units. I have seen some of their other units where they are a little bit more premium. But this one does allow you to switch between the channels and control your gain by the little buttons right there. Holding power is going to turn it on and off, and clicking it once is going to mute the unit. Now this does come with a lot of stuff, and to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised with the quality of the way that these sounded. But keep in mind, this is one of their more affordable units. You're not going to be able to scan for frequencies. It has 30 preset frequencies to choose from. So if you are needing more scannable frequencies, there are other systems available. Phenyx Pro also has antenna kits that can go into a rack and rack gear. And to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised when they offered to send me this just to try it out. Now, this does come with two of these. So you have a channel A and a channel B. And I think a great thing is let's just plug these in and see how they sound. Now, the lavalier comes looking pretty good. If you take off the windsock, you can see that it is a pretty big looking capsule. It sounds pretty all right, but I will say that I've noticed it does seem to get a little bit of handling noise if you are jiggling it. That is to be expected with anything that is using lavalier or lapel style workflow. So if you have something like necklaces or headsets on that isn't wireless, keep in mind that you will be getting that type of noise. The windscreen is actually pretty nice and does a good job of preventing wind. So I think we should just plug this in and see how it sounds. So to do that, all we're going to do is just clip this on, turn on the unit, and you'll see that it will automatically sync up. If we look at the my screen right here where I have my wing rack control, I tap it, you can see that this is where it's coming in. So I have multiple inputs. I have it on channel 32, and we can actually see the gain on the unit itself. By just holding it up, you can actually see a little LED meter. You will notice that the lavalier is going to be significantly quieter. So you just bring up the preamp gain until you get something that is a relatively decent level. I don't like to go above to the maximum. I will stay at about 3 to 4 and leave the final one at just blank. That way I have enough gain. And you can use this to give you your line output level control. Again, if we go to my units right here, we will see how much it's hitting. If I bring this all the way down, it disappears. All the way up, I get my gain. So now I'm going to bring up my preamp gain. Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's looking pretty good. And now we can go ahead and clip this on. So this is a just basic microphone. I'm going to just stand up and show you how I clip this on, and then we can see how it sounds. All right, so right now I am going through my SM7B, and I'm going to mute it right now, and you will be able to hear it coming just from the lavalier. As you see here, if I move around, you can still hear me. I'm still going on, and let's actually look at my signal flow. I am not using any high or low cut filters. I'm not using any gates, no EQ. This is just clean signal going straight into the recorder, so you can see how this sounds. Overall, I'm very happy with this. From listening back, I've noticed that it has a very clean sound. You can get a little bit of rumble if you rustle your microphone around, but that's just normal. You know, doing this to any lavalier is going to cause a lot of rumble and stuff like that. It does not pick up much noise, even though there is a air conditioner on, and I'm right next to a laptop that is blowing a lot of wind. So for this, normally I would just enter one of my gate effects on my Behringer wing, something like this, and just gate it out in a live situation. Moving on, I'm going to be taking a look at the headset unit next. It is right here. It's a very small unit. And one thing that I will state is that I did find the headset to have a very, very, very plosive capsule. It is very bad at rejecting plosives at all. So what I've ended up doing is I got my little pop filter, the little hard shell case from my Shure QLX lavalier. And I've just kind of attached it to this one. You will see that this actually has a flat side because this is a dynamic capsule and it is cardioid. So I just keep the little windsock on to prevent any type of noise coming in from the back. Pop this on here and now I get a lot of plosive rejection. Now, although this is not adjustable, it is pretty flexible and lightweight. And I've noticed a lot with this is the positioning. If you position this too close to your mouth, because it doesn't have any proper protection for plosives, it will get a lot of breathiness and a lot of other sounds. But if you position it right, you'll notice it has a good job of rejection from noise and stuff like that. I'm going to turn this unit on and we will see it coming in right here on this channel. Now I'm going to put my headphones on, and one thing that I really like about the headset unit is because it is a headset, you're actually able to have headphones on and not worry about the overall like noise or rustling. So I am now going to unmute this from my headphones so I can now hear it. You can now hear it as well. And this is the way that it sounds. You will be able to hear my breathing. That is kind of the biggest issue, is it does not have any type of plosive rejection. The way that I have found to kind of mitigate this is actually going ahead and just moving it to a position where it's not going to actually be picking up the plosives from your breathing as much. Now I am going to just go over the signal chain with this because I actually am thinking of maybe turning this into my go-to vocal microphone. Right now I am not speaking through this one at all. You are only hearing the headset microphone. Now, the way that I usually do things for my voiceovers is I use Super Rack Performer to do some real-time denoising, and that's actually what I'm doing right here. If we bypass Super Rack Performer and just mute all of the processing, I'll show you that right now. I'll just turn it off, and this is how the microphone sounds. You will hear that we have some background noise, we have a little bit of fan noise, and we have some stuff coming in from my fan. So this is going to pick up a little bit more just because it's right next to everything else, but it will do a good job of, rejecting background noise pretty well. The next thing is you will notice that the gain you get, or at least the gain you get coming from your unit, is going to be much higher, so you'll need a lot less gain on your unit, on your belt pack whatsoever. Now I'm going to turn back the noise reduction, and you're just going to see that this has done a good job of getting rid of background noise. And if we just see, all I'm doing is getting rid of some just noise reduction. It is just Bruce free, and then the waves WNS, and that's the exact same signal flow that I have even for my voiceover on my SM7B. You can see that right here on channel 1. It's the exact same thing. Now, I have not moved this microphone. I'm still breathing. I'm still just showing you that it does do a pretty good job if you position it properly. Like I said, positioning is going to be a big thing. If we look at my signal chain, I only have the external effects. I have a low cut, just getting rid of some muddiness because this is right in my face. If I bypass that, you can hear that it's just a little bit boomier. And then I have a compressor just getting some nice dynamic control. That is my entire signal chain for this, and this is exactly how it sounds, meaning that I'm pretty happy with it because I can then go ahead and dial it in more. I can maybe tame a little bit of the sizzliness. I can use the dynamic EQ to do stuff. I mean, it's significantly better than the crazy EQ I have to do on my SM7B because my voice is very sibilant and it just sounds crazy for some reason. And yeah, that's it as far as how this sounds. Now, my opinions of this is actually pretty happy. I really like the headset. I've actually used it live. It was in a conference and I could not record that conference. It was very, very NDA. heavy. And I just in general really liked working with this thing. As you see, I'm just moving around. I think it looks pretty cool. I have some other little wind foams that are coming in tomorrow that I ordered on Amazon that are going to kind of help me reject the noise a little bit better. They're basically going to be a capsule of this design without the need of the little squeegee in the back. Phenyx Pro did send this to me for free, so this is technically a sponsored video, but they are not paying me to do anything. They are not going to give me any money. They're simply just letting me keep the microphones. And I find that the lavalier is very premium. It is very comparable to something that I use from Shure. And I do notice that depending on the wireless kit you get either a all metal housing with a different microphone capsule. And I really like that. Overall, I actually am very impressed with this unit. I think it sounds very good, and I really do like the headset. I have had very minimal wireless issues, and I am in a very busy and wirelessly compromised area where I live. For my recommendation, so if you are on the more consumer side and you're kind of doing this for fun or at home for your own band, I would definitely recommend this microphone series. Get the one that has one handheld and one wireless lav. The PTU 52 is pretty good for that. For someone like me who does this more on a professional level, I have multiple recording consoles, multiple live sound consoles, multiple stage boxes. I would probably go for something like the PTC4, which has 4 podium mics. It looks very nice. Or even their PTAU series. And I'm currently actually looking at their PT7000 series, the 2H2B. This has a quad UHF and allows you to do scanning of frequencies, which I think is very important for the more pro audio people. This also comes with a headset and lav for each belt pack. And from what I can see and what I've read, these are all made out of metal, whereas this unit is plastic. Metal will give you a better RF rejection, so you won't get as much RF interference, and is also a lot more stable. If I drop this on the floor, it will turn off. Nothing happens to it, but I do have to turn it back on. But overall, this is a pretty cool thing. I'm going to keep this for all of my home studio stuff. I'm going to be connecting my wireless microphones to the mini XLR jack and just plugging it in. I've tried it out already. It sounds really good, and there's absolutely zero discernible latency to it. Like I said, though, for my own use, I am definitely looking at some of their other units. If you're going for a more higher end thing, definitely look at their PTU 71 series. From what I understand, this has a scannable frequency and is definitely very, very much on the higher end section. And it has an all metal housing. And this also has one that has either 2 lavalier end headsets or 1 lavalier headset and 1 handheld. For me, I am really interested, though, on the PTU 7000 2H2B. Like I said, I really like that. And I'm probably going to be looking into getting that and their PTC4 and then a combiner. And I want to try this out on events. I have a lot of conferences coming up and I have a lot of events with bands. So I want to see how this sounds. And just so you know, I've been switching between my SM7B and my headset throughout this video just to show you that this does hold up. It sounds very good with minimal processing. Like I showed you earlier, my SM7B has a whole signal chain, while this is simply just going through some noise reduction because I'm right next to my window and I don't feel like closing it. It is very hot here in LA. So that is it for the signal chain on this. I think it sounds very good. And that's going to be it for this video. This has been Jerry Mateo with In the Dot. I hope you enjoyed. And this is my honest opinion. I actually really like this thing, but I think it is definitely more for the home studio or the band musician who doesn't have the budget to get the higher end stuff, but wants to get a good starting off point. For me, I'm definitely going to be looking at the more high end stuff because it is definitely going to be a lot more reliable, robust, and stable with the all metal housing and the scannable frequencies. But as it is right now, this is definitely a pretty good thing. And I am not getting rid of this. I am definitely keeping these and probably having them in my kit as a backup. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys later. I'll have links down below. Bye.